Alright, we are back now for the third installment of my yoga teacher training submissions. So the first video we began with basic fundamental Palamudasana or Suksham Vyaya, where we just learned to open different parts of the body, going from the toes to the crown of the head. Palamudasana translates to prana releasing or wind releasing, or Vaya, which is also wind or air releasing asana or postures. So we worked on removing any excess air from all the joints, which results in sometimes cracking or popping or a big overall release. We were able to identify the prana flowing through the body as heat as we started to awaken different parts of the body. Then we moved into further opening the body through using contraction. So we use strength poses or strength movements to allow us to go deeper into certain stretches and get a deeper and fuller awareness of our body and our mind and our emotions and our energetic systems. So now we're going to come a little more into the passive side of yoga, but still very active as we enter breathing. So I'm going to do a whole class on a pranayama sequence that I was introduced to when I was certified in India. So the basis of it goes from the Kapalbhati and Bhastrika, which are two forms of breath that help eliminate stuff from the body, whether eliminating from the nasal passages or eliminating from more so the colon. They'll engage those parts of the body as we start to release and purify the body. Then we'll move into Surya Badana, where we start opening up the masculine side or the Pingala side. And then we're going to do Chandra Badana as we open up the lunar side, also the Ida. And then we're going to do Nadi Shodhana, where we balance the both of them. Following that with I can't remember, Shitali. That's what it's called. Shitali Pranayama, where we're going to a cooling breath, followed by Ujjayi, then Brahmari, and then just a relaxing meditation at the end. So with that said, we're going to begin this practice. As the instructor, my name is Reshimiel Uriah Kayamit, but I just go by Shimmy. It's so much easier. So I'm Shimmy. This is our pranayama class. I feel like I've said everything in the previous video, so I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. I'm Shimmy. I'm new to yoga. I'm 31. I do martial arts. I live. Alright, so for the students, I will introduce this as a hatha class where we're focused on balancing masculine and feminine energies, or solar and lunar, or our different dualities. Bringing different dualities into union, and that realization is known as yoga. So that's how I introduce the class. This breathing will also function in that same way. So this breathing is also a part of the hatha ideology, where we're balancing masculine and feminine, solar and lunar, positive and negative, these different aspects of our duality. So the student would be Shimmy, another 31-year-old, has major issues sitting still and mindfulness and meditation. Shimmy also has issues just focusing on the breath. I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have any of those issues that would interfere with me doing certain breathing practices. But if we did, we would also alter our practice based on the limitations of each practitioner. So with that said, we're going to get into the practice. So we're going to find ourselves stable in this posture. We're going to begin with identifying a full yogic breath. So the full yogic breath is us just breathing fully into the diaphragm. Once the diaphragm fills, we're going to move up into the chest or the thoracic region. Once the thoracic region of the chest fills, the shoulders or the clavicle will suddenly rise. Don't breathe to a point where you can't hold the breath, because you're supposed to enjoy the pause between the inhale and exhale. This is also the experience of life, the point between birth, inhalation, and death, exhalation, or inspiration, expiration. So that space between the breaths is where we actually experience life in a more fuller capacity, the same way we do in these physical vessels. So we're going to begin with some yogic breathing. We're going to begin by breathing just into the abdomen. So we're going to relax the shoulders, lengthen the spine, bring the neck and chin to a neutral position, and we're going to breathe. So we're going to inhale, feeling just the abdomen, feeling just the diaphragm. Exhale, sinking the diaphragm back in as you release the air. Inhale, breathing into the diaphragm. Exhale, breathing out from the diaphragm. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right. Now we're going to move up into the chest. So the chest this time is going to function the same way. So we're going to breathe into the chest, just the chest alone. So you might have to keep the lower abdomen tucked as you breathe into just the chest or the thoracic region. So we're going to inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This should be a familiar breath to a lot of us in the Western world too. Continue to breathe. As this is where we breathe in naturally in the Western world, which is why a lot of us suffer from anxiety, suffer from different heart issues, hypertension, high blood pressure, because we're breathing directly into the chest, which is affecting the heart directly. So now it's speeding up the heart, making the heartbeat rhythms irregular or more erratic, which results in these different psychosomatic issues or diseases like anxiety, high blood pressure, hypertension. But just taking a fuller breath slows all these processes down, making us aware of the body more so that we're able to heal and address them more appropriately. So after we've breathed into our chest for a few rounds, we're going to move into the clavicle. So this is going to be the shortest breath, so you're going to sit up as high as possible just to imitate the body positioning when we're actually breathing. Now the body's position sit up high, we're going to inhale just into the clavicle, so only the shoulders should rise. The breath is going to be shorter than the last two. On your next exhale, we're going to release. And now we're going to go into the full yogic breathing. So we're going to begin from the abdomen up to the chest, up to the clavicle, or the shoulders. So we're going to breathe in, feeling the diaphragm, feeling the chest, shoulders slowly rise. And exhale, shoulders down, chest in, stomach descends. We're going to continue with this yogic breath for 9 more rounds. Pausing between the inhale and exhale. One more round. Finally exhale. Alright, now that we've completed our full yogic breath practice, as you continue to breathe, I don't want to give this instruction in the beginning because some instructions are only meant to be given after the experience has occurred. The breath is going to become more and more subtle as you fight it less. So as you breathe in, the breath should be quiet, it should be steady, and it should be even. It shouldn't be to get there, not for these calm breaths. It shouldn't be it should be a gentle, with enough awareness to control and stop, and then exhale slowly. I exaggerated with the sound so you can see the evenness on the exhale, but eventually the breath will become so subtle that you aren't aware of it coming in or exiting. And that's the ultimate goal of this pranayama sequence, is to get the breath to a point where it's so subtle that we're not aware of it. That's when the breath has fully developed itself and something that we can cultivate now by focusing on other things, because now the breath is properly managed. So first we're going to get into Kapalabhati. This is one of the forms of Kriya, which helps us deal with our energetic system, but also internally cleanses. So Kapalabhati, we're going to do 30 strokes, or 30 inhale and exhales, and it's going to be 3 rounds. So Kapalabhati is a forceful exhale breath. So we're going to inhale, and the Kapalabhati is the So as you inhale, you're going to hold this breath, and you're going to exhale just by forcefully pressing on the abdomen, or forcefully squeezing the abdomen. So we're going to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And that's the thing. We're going to do that 30 times without break or interruption, and that'll be the first round. So we're going to inhale and begin. On the 30th exhale, drag the exhale a little longer, and return back to a natural breathing. Got about 30 seconds to normalize our breath. Return to our awareness on what's actually occurring. We're being forceful on the exhale and passive on the inhale. Another reference to balance. This one will help expel any of the mucus that's left in the sinuses and the head. It helps bring up any of the stuff that's in the lungs, breaking it up as we help remove from the top. We're going to our second round now, so we're going to inhale passively and exhale forcefully. Inhale and exhale. Returning back to a natural passive inhale and exhale. And on the last round, we're going to return to Kapalabhati as you finish cleaning out the head region, cleaning out the sinuses, cleaning out the upper respiratory. We're going to take our breath in passively and forcefully exhale. 30 counts. Returning back to our natural breath, allowing the benefit of the practice to settle in with your being. All right, now continuing up through the practice.